we're actually going to be going to KBIS.
How exciting.
Yeah. So this is going to be your guys' first year to KBIS.
First experience. It's actually first experience going to Vegas since I can remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the first. So you get Vegas and KBIS all in
different
one.
intentions with this trip, I'm sure.
Yes. Very, very different.
Than the younger version.
Who knows? we might get some gambling in. So we'll see.
Of course. What is Rome?
Yeah. So we actually we went to KBIS last year, and we've been kind of telling you a little bit about what to expect from KBIS. It is a little bit, as I've mentioned, kind of mind-blowing of how many vendors are there, how much activity is happening. But as you've been kind of hearing about it, what are your initial thoughts about going to KBIS? What are you expecting to get out of KBIS?
First and foremost, I'm just really looking forward to learning and just seeing it. I mean, it's so amped up, and everyone's talking about, it's like miles long, and it's just this extravagant show.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that because, I mean, the biggest show I've been to was the Home and Garden Show in Denver, the 9-day show. And that was crazy to me. So
you've been to a big show. You just haven't been to the International Kitchen and Bath Show.
No, international.
So,
it's wild.
That's crazy. And that was a big deal for me when I came in there, just to realize how many people were there from not only the U.S. but also internationally.
Yeah.
It was kind of really eye-opening to me to see all the different products coming from all the different countries. And nowadays, imports is such a big thing. Yeah. So that was a big eye-opening thing for me. My last show in Vegas, I went to the CES show back in the day, and it had that kind of similar vibe. But ultimately, it was neat to see all the great products. So
kind of puts it in perspective when it's international, the next level type stuff. Yeah, for
sure. And then it's keyed in with the actual building show as well. So you get kind of a lot of the IBS show. So I'm not sure why they call it IBS.
The IBS
show. They should probably rename that. Ultimately, you have builders there and a lot of different people coming together. And the main goal, I think, for most people to go there is to actually learn how to grow your kitchen and bath business.
Yes.
So it's a little bit of the staple of what we say around here at Highland Cabinetry, that our goal is to help other people grow their business. So this is the biggest show in the world, and that's exactly what it's intended to be. It's to help people grow their kitchen and bath business. So now,
and to kind of touch on her, I mean, as far as like what we'll be able to see the future of it, of designs and everything else, but an opportunity to be able to share Highland and what we can offer to the industry.
Absolutely.
That's the most exciting part.
Absolutely.
That's really exciting.
Cool. Yeah, we're there with our manufacturers and really kind of the ability to bring us all together and see the manufacturing piece of it, and then to bring it into distribution into the U.S. So lots of conversations to be had, but we'll get into that a little bit more. So this being, you're both new to the kitchen and bath industry.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that you can kind of get into. So is there any certain product or anything when you're there that you're really excited to see or to experience?
I really am excited to see countertops.
Okay.
Because the slabs that we've seen in houses that we've put cabinetry in just are gorgeous to me. So I'm excited to see that and see what we can pair our cabinetry with.
Okay.
And just kind of what's up and coming with that specifically.
There are amazing displays of granite and quartz and natural stones that you can see, and some of it is just ridiculous. Like you can see things with fossils in them. You can see all kinds of neat designs and lighting.
Beauty of nature.
That's pretty exciting. You'll see kind of what I see when I go to KBIS is because we build everyday nice kitchens, right? But we never really get to see kind of the upper echelon of kitchens. Yeah. Very, very high lux, expensive kitchens. And it really allows me to get a feel for different design elements that I haven't seen before, because this is really kind of the showcase of the higher end kitchens, higher end design. I know a lot of the different talks that they're having is regarding design, and we've got some really key players in design coming there. So it's going to be neat to see what they're doing.
Awesome.
Always kind of reminds me that we can push design as well, even though we do everyday kitchens. We can take it just another step, and then when we get into that with kind of flexing our products,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So for me, it's always the appliances.
That's what I was about to say. I mean, as
that
far as
what
a
it's-
guy's standpoint to going and seeing the future with a flat screen TV on your refrigerator, that might
Right.
be pretty cool to see. You know, what's next?
love
What's
that.
next to come? You know, in
Yeah.
the future here.
I got into kitchens through doing high-end theaters. So to me, bringing that luxury, the electronics, and all of that into the kitchen was really, really fun for me. And when I did kitchens early on, I was putting TVs above the, building them in and making them look, back before, flat screen TVs actually existed.
Need a little more space with the box. And
Exactly. So I would bury it in a cabinet, and they're like, "Wow, that's cool. It looks like a picture." And I go, "Yeah, I was kind of looking into the future, right?"
That's
so,
awesome.
so you can see all that different tech stuff too. AI is a big thing that they're talking about in,
that'll
in
be
KBIS, and I'm curious of how that ties into kitchen design. I mean, is it? I want to see, like, are we just going to be able to draw a room and then let AI actually take over and design it for us and do some different things? So I'm kind of excited to see where that goes.
Yeah, for sure.
So now most of the things that we do, we see some amount of AI. But what do you think's coming in AI?
That'll be interesting to tell. I mean, it's as far as especially with a kitchen space. I mean, you can imagine maybe your counter space top. Maybe it is more of a screen. Maybe you can maneuver things on that in that space. Or you think of tech within appliances like a refrigerator where it can have recipes listed on the outside. That's your ingredients within the inside.
Right.
It'll show recipes that you can make on the outside of the screen.
Wait, is that a thing right now?
I don't know. Maybe it is. I feel like it's
I
cool.
believe it is. I mean, I think
Yeah.
refrigerators nowadays, you can actually have your shopping list on there, and it knows what's inside your refrigerator.
That's
if I'm
incredible.
not mistaken.
Talk about being a lazy chef.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That is wild.
and it probably likely sends it to your phone, and then you can just when you're at the store, you can look inside your refrigerator. So
Yeah.
there are all kinds of cool
Who
stuff.
knows?
So,
Yeah.
Just a
imagine.
matter of time for them to start grocery shopping for us.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I think that would actually be nice. Your refrigerator actually knows what your recipes are. It actually sends your grocery list to one of the big store brands, Walmart. And next thing you know, you're without you even asking, your groceries show up.
You're getting sale flashes on your
Yeah.
refrigerator.
Yeah. So
Things on
instead of
sale,
going
buy
to the
one, get
grocery
one.
store and getting totally stressed out like we do on
Yeah.
the weekends,
Yeah.
right? Because there's too many people there, and all I want to do is get an onion, and I'm trying to kind of get through the
Navigate
people. When I go to the grocery store, it's I feel like super out of place.
I agree
wife,
with that. Yeah.
My wife does most of the shopping. I always feel like I'm in the way.
I want to be efficient. My wife wants to go up and down each line to see, especially for at Costco. You want to see what's available. But yeah, I want in and out what we needed.
Yeah.
No questions.
So if your refrigerator
it's
did that for
different.
you, we'd feel a lot better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I like to read all the ingredients, take a look at what's new. So it's time consuming.
It is.
Very time
It is.
consuming.
Well, your refrigerator is going to do it for you next year, so don't worry about
Perfect.
it. It'll save you all kinds of time. So some of what I see is the appliances that are there. I almost think of it as like a car show.
Yeah.
Like they're really kind of featuring all the new finishes and looks, and a lot of the appliance brands that are coming in from Europe and UK. They're absolutely amazing.
That's awesome.
So you'll see like a $40,000 range, which to me,
$40,000.
you'll see some extreme things there that again, the really high lux kitchens that you're going to see, you're just going to be amazed, and you'll start to kind of play with the idea as we are working with our products to continually to kind of push the envelope. And I actually think we've done that really, really well in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean
is
that.
to take our product that comes kind of right off the shelf and really kind of flex it. So we've been doing a lot of different pro tips and product flex videos to kind of see what we can do.
Yeah.
And as we start to go from kind of your everyday kitchens on up to kind of a luxury kitchen, we're seeing the product being used in some really neat ways. So that design piece, throwing in some really nice appliances in there. Next thing you know, you take a $1 million home kitchen and you turn it into a $5-6 million home kitchen, and that's what we're starting to see within our products. So, looking to see how we can actually stretch that into 25 and 26. Okay.
It'll be cool to see the European appliances because of our European frameless line.
Yes.
To see how they go together, nice and sleek. See that?
Yeah, there's a huge amount of frameless kitchens there. So, and then lately we've been talking about shaker kitchens, right? And the reality was, why do you call it a shaker kitchen? Is it a framed kitchen? Is it a framed cabinet? Why do you call it shaker? So we're getting a little blast on our social media about why do you call it shaker and not a framed kitchen? So, yes, shaker is a door design. Right, and you're going to see a lot of shaker style cabinets. You're going to see that within our booths. You're going to see that in a lot of other booths. But the industry has kind of moved from calling it framed cabinets to shaker style, because shaker door styles are the prominent door style on a framed cabinet nowadays.
So it's arguing for arguing's sake.
A little bit. But you know, if you're a purist, like a cabinet maker like me, you would say, no, the shaker, why do you call it? I mean, it could have a raised panel door, it could have an inset door, it could have all these different things. That's not just a shaker door, but the primary product right now is a shaker style door on a framed cabinet. And that represents a ton of our business, 90% of our business. And then the frameless line, which you could still put a shaker door on, is traditionally flat panel doors. So we're seeing a little bit of the purists kind of coming at us a little bit because we call it shaker cabinets. So I'm looking forward to kind of debating that a little bit when I'm at KBIS and seeing. I'm curious if door designs are going to start changing soon. Is it still going to be predominantly shaker style cabinetry, or are we going to start seeing a little bit of a flex into the products? What do you think?
I mean, as far as a flex, something we can already offer would be the slim. You know, as far as like a maybe in between that frameless European look with the classic shaker, slim already right there in the middle. One of my favorites too.
So you got the slim shaker.
Yeah.
So still sitting with a shaker. They could have called it something else, but it's still shaker, right? Because people are going to say, "Oh, that's a basic kind of shaker look." So, yeah. All right. What else? What are you thinking? Are you going to hit any of the talks or anything going on over there?
I want to hit the talk about kitchens and how people are designing their kitchens around their pets.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of that.
Yeah,
big dog lovers out there need to
have,
accessible.
Yeah, and it's cool how we can make things to kind of hide dog bowls, water bowls, all of that to make the kitchen function better.
Right.
And dogs are our family, so having that talk, I think, can really engage people, and we can learn a lot from that as well and help our clients, design their kitchens for their animals. Absolutely. Sounds silly, but...
Well, animals are part of the family, like your dog or your cat. I know that when we were shopping for a home, we probably gave more weight to the dog than the kids. So, oddly enough.
Right. Yeah.
So, we were such dog lovers and worked with the rescue and did a lot of different things. So, it was a matter of how our dogs could use the house. But we have St. Bernards. So St. Bernard, we had a 225-pound St. Bernard. That dog is not going to go up and down stairs and do a lot of different things that a typical dog could do. So we had to make sure that our house was designed where that 225-pound St. Bernard could not only use the house, but figure out how to contain the slobber and the fur and everything else and the food because they eat a ton. So yeah, we're seeing all kinds of neat things within design within kitchens, and if you go on Pinterest and you look at a bunch of different designs now, you'll see all like the end caps of the cabinets with the water stations and the dog bowls. And when we were designing our kitchen, we were trying to figure out how to best kind of hide things. First it was, okay, well, let's hide the trash can that's been out in the open for 20 years. Then it was because again, St. Bernard's, we have 100 pounds worth of food that needs to be stored.
It's a big cabinet.
Yeah, it's a big cabinet. So where can we put all that stuff? And then I hate the look of dog bowls just out in the breeze, and especially as I'm aging and my wife is starting to age, is being careful not to have things that you trip over too when you're cooking. And so it's before we had it looked like a huge basically a bowl on stilts, and it was this big, and it was right in the middle of our walking path. So I can't tell you how many times I kicked it, and water and food went
Middle
flying.
of the night.
Yeah. So what can we do to do that? You can definitely look at different accessories to put the food away. I've actually built in many kitchens, even a long time ago, trash pull-out cans that have a sealable lid for the dog. So you have the 2 bins, and then you can put the heavy load of dog food in there, and it tucks away in what a trash cabinet would look like. But we change out the bins with a sealable gasketed lid, and it keeps the dog food a little bit better. Always important. I learned recently that you should actually make sure that you clean those out effectively every time you've changed the food out, because you can get bacteria in there. So little important pro tip I read when I was working with my dogs, that you don't, because a lot of times you just keep pouring more food back in it, and the reality is the food at the bottom can get kind of nasty, and it's not good for your dog.
Bacteria.
So important tip, make sure that if you do that, you take it out, you clean it really, really well, and then you put it back in there. Okay. The other thing you can do is actually leave it in the sealed bag inside the container. So something to think about as you're talking with your clients, and making sure that the kitchen is healthy too.
Yes.
Right. So as we design, and mostly is trying to figure out how people use their homes and what criteria that they have.
Well, it's interesting too. I mean, some of the contractors and the things that they're coming up with. That recent kitchen that you filmed at and we posted on YouTube was that big island that he used, and all those cabinets on the back end.
Right.
I hadn't really considered that, but even if talking about dogs, I mean, it's kind of tucking away some of those bowls, or even having enough space under there for food. I hadn't really considered a whole lot of cabinet space under there. Usually it's just wasted.
Right.
Meant there to swing your legs, and that's about it. But
exactly.
Yeah.
You definitely can find some trick areas. When I was designing my kitchen, I was trying to figure out a good place to put a drawer where the bowls could be. So when the dog needs to eat, you can pull the drawer out and he can eat, and then you can put it back in. But
that's cool.
That is cool.
Unfortunately, we had too many pots and pans that we needed to store, so the dog lost out on that deal. So we're designing what's now really, really trending. Now that I think about it, is the auxiliary kind of pantry areas, like a butler's pantry area. So right now we're taking our formal dining room that nobody really uses anymore, right?
Yeah.
And we're talking about turning that into a neat kind of pantry where we can house not only all the dog stuff,
that's cool,
but also the appliances. So we're seeing a huge trend coming in, and most of the homes that I'm visiting nowadays have a secondary walk-in usable cabinetry pantry that you have all the different cool appliances, microwaves. So things are, back in the day they had the kitchen that you designed for the entertaining. Never really cooked in it, right? You had somebody else cooking in your.
You wouldn't want to even get it dirty.
No, it's for show.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's like those throw pillows.
Yeah, and that's what you'll see in KBIS. You'll see a bunch of those kitchens. So you'll see, these kitchens commonly are works of art, but they're not normally cooked in a whole lot. There's usually a secondary kitchen that people will cook in, and especially like if you're entertaining a lot and you have caterers or different things, you can have that area being used. And when I was designing homes 10, 15 years ago, we were designing the laundry rooms as a secondary pantry area that had cooking ability, so that when we staged parties, we could have the caterers use that area, and then they weren't out in the middle of the party trying to make stuff happen. Jeez. So it was kind of neat early on before we started to say, but now we're seeing it where you're having pantry doors that can open up in your kitchen, and you can walk through it like a secret room, like you're going in a Narnia. And
I saw one design. It's a pantry access from the garage. So when you have the groceries and you back up into the garage, you open the hatch to the pantry, you slide them onto the floor, and they're just waiting there for you. That would be
That's
cool one.
awesome.
Yeah.
that is a pretty cool
Yeah,
trick.
I like that.
I mean, that goes obviously a lot of planning into your design.
Absolutely.
With how your pantry's going to be. Yeah, possible.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, especially from kitchen design, is really trying to figure out how to make your life better.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, I did not know, even though I've been doing kitchens for 35 years, I've been designing homes for 20 years, I didn't really realize truly what the impact of a new kitchen would do for my family. So when we had, your everyday kitchen, and our kids were growing up, and I didn't want to remodel the kitchen when the kids were growing up because they were pretty damaging.
Yeah.
Right. Biggest thing is my youngest son, which is now 26. When he was younger, he would ride his bike in the kitchen.
Oh, that's what you mean by damaging.
Yeah.
Oh, straight up
Truly damaging.
All right.
So we bought a brand new refrigerator. Stainless steel. It was a lot of money back in those days when we were raising families, and he decided to ride his bike in the kitchen, and he rode along the side of the refrigerator, and he hit his bike peg and put a big old long dent across the front of our brand new refrigerator. So not only did he do that, he did it to my car as well. Oh, so he took his handlebar down the side of my car. So he's lucky to be with us today.
Tour de France rider or anything? It didn't pay off his cycling career?
No. He's crazy BMXer, but he thought his bike needed to be everywhere, and naturally nobody was watching him at the time. So he's like, I'm going to ride it through the house. So
That's awesome.
So we waited until the kids moved out to build our kitchen. So we have last year we built the full kitchen. We changed appliance locations. We did a bunch of cool stuff. But this past year has been so rewarding to have that kitchen and the way that we entertain and everything. So I think with that thought process going into KBIS and really seeing, okay, what could we actually stretch, because we're talking about buying a new home, and what little things can we do in the new home. So I'm kind of thinking KBIS for me is like, what's next from not only the business side of it, but really for my own family too.
Personally, yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So oddly enough, I actually sit on the couch probably from about 7 p.m. to about 8:30, and I look at different kitchen trends and different things to see what's coming up. Because again, we kind of do the everyday kitchens, and then I want to see what's pushing the envelope as far as trends. So I always look at what kind of cabinetry, what kind of appliances, and then what kind of paint colors. So I'm scrolling on the couch, and all of a sudden I see the colors of 25 for kitchens, and it was purple.
Like bright
So I'm like,
purple?
today I'm wearing a purple shirt to celebrate the purple is coming into kitchens.
Love it.
And so I asked my wife, I said, I shoot it across the couch, because we just kind of bat ideas back and forth on the couch when we're talking. And I said, how about a purple colored kitchen? And she's like cabinetry purple? And I'm like, maybe, but like wall color. And she's like, no, hell no, that's not happening. So I think a lot of times people, there's the paint colors that trend, and it was the grays, and then it was the bolder colors, and we're starting to see kind of those dark, rich, kind of sexy colors coming into play. And then all of a sudden we're flipping from that to purple.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who picked purple? Like,
Very soft colors, but a lot more flavor going on.
a lot more flavor, and maybe it's muted purples. I think they were saying it was like plums and some other kind of muted colors, but not so like bright purple. So would you paint your kitchen purple?
Plum, I think, or maybe like a lavender.
Okay.
Kind of play around with the different tones. But I've seen walls painted in like that deep plum color, and it makes other things pop. So I think there's a right way to do it. I wouldn't go, bright purple, but there's a time and place maybe for it, potentially.
I think I've seen somebody do bright purple cabinetry, and that was a bit much for me.
And see, I think that's Yeah, bright would be way too much, I think.
Yeah.
But I think that's one cool part or aspect of cabinetry is that you can pop it and then let the walls kind of just let them kind of hang.
That's
Kinda
true.
But
do
let
thing.
your flavor and your taste with cabinets come out, you know.
Yeah, and you can kind of
true.
see that between the different kitchens. You can see, okay, I want to pop the cabinets, or I want to mute the cabinets and pop the walls or the appliances, and you can kind of play around with those colors. I know when I'm doing kitchens for folks that I see them kind of repaint their kitchen walls multiple different colors. So I helped a buddy of mine paint or do his kitchen, and I think they painted the kitchen walls 12 times. Until
12
they got to the final color. So yeah, it was like they just couldn't get the right tone. So luckily in a kitchen there's not a lot of wall space because you've got a lot of tile and everything else like that. But yeah, it was, and it ended up being a color I would have never thought. It was a really kind of like a darker brown color, and
Really?
it had kind of it had a cream colored cabinetry, beautiful cabinetry that we installed in his kitchen, and it ended up being kind of a darker brown color. And it's a color I would have never picked, like looking at the swatches in the paint store. But with that cabinetry, it was actually very, very rich looking and pretty. And it kind of pulled off the whole kind of tone that they were doing throughout the house, which was a little bit more of a kind of a mountain rustic look, but with a kind of a higher end cabinetry. So yeah, so purple. Let's look for some purple kitchens and see. Maybe we can
Trends.
film one
Yeah.
and see if they actually pull it off. If we get anybody to paint their cabinetry purple, we're definitely shooting that one. Okay.
We have to.
Sounds good. Coming up in 25, purple kitchens.
Hopefully.
Now going to Vegas. If you're in Vegas, what do you want to see? Like not KBIS, just Vegas, because you're saying
Does
this
Cher
is
still
first
have
time.
a show?
What's that?
Does Cher still have a show?
That's a good
Big
question.
I
Cher
don't
fan,
know.
you know?
Big Cher fan.
Yeah,
All right.
Big Cher fan. Okay.
Didn't expect that, but all right.
Okay.
I'll join you if there's a show.
Who else?
I don't know. I don't know
Celine
who's.
Dion?
Sleep,
Is she
maybe.
still there? Yeah. It's been a
I
minute.
don't know who's actually headlining there now and has their own show. So I was listening. My wife was listening to a Britney podcast this morning. So
Yeah.
I don't know if she's still showing there, but we'll have to figure it out. So
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah.
I'm sure there's a good show that we could catch there.
Oh, yeah.
My uncles still, they kind of go back and forth, but they would do Elvis Presley impersonations
Oh, nice.
in Las Vegas, and they might be there. So,
That's
that
pretty
could be a cool
classic.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Get into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know.
So, well, we'll try to keep it tame. This is a business event, so we won't stay out too late. When
Yeah,
you
I
go
think
to the
our-
show, you got to talk to thousands of people. So
Yeah.
last year we probably did a little bit too much, and then the next days we were struggling a little bit. But
Yeah. Well, we can learn from the pro this time around for sure.
well, it's good to be in Vegas. It's good to cut loose a little bit. It's good to get to know some people, and
Yeah.
I think ultimately it's going to be a fantastic
It's
show
gonna be
this
a
year.
blast. Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of different talks. There's going to be a lot of new products there, so from all over the world. So it's going to be very, very exciting. Hopefully, we'll catch some videos of some things that are happening. Do a little bit of touch points while we're out there. So and shoot and try to bring it back to our folks. So since we have about 1,400 dealers, it's neat to bring that stuff back because not everybody's going to go to the KBIS show. But,
Yeah. I'm
it's
excited
gonna-
to share what we see too on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. So you're looking forward to it?
Really excited.
Awesome. How about you?
Oh, very excited.
Okay. Well, let's get a good amount of sleep before then, and then we'll have some fun in Vegas and get to see an amazing show.
KBIS 2025.
There you go. You
do
got it. Looking forward to it.